Okay, this is like my GCN version of the pro bike video thing that they do. So here it is. This is the bike I'm using at the total stations. This is the bike I use for general day-to-day riding. It's also the bike that I won the National Hill Climb Championships on like almost a year ago. So there's a few changes. It's obviously a little bit more robust than back then because you can strip it down and take weight off it. So as it is here, as you see it, with alloy wheels and everything else, and I'll go through the specs in a second, it weighs like bang on 7.5 kilos. But like I said, I can get it a lot lower. So what we have to begin with is the Mons frame set from Tifosi, and if I'm right in saying, this is a medium frame, and the frame weighs just under a kilo, and the forks weigh around about 300 grams. So like a number of years ago, this used to be like one of the lightest frame sets on the market. Big things coming from Tifosi in the future, so watch your space. So we'll start at the bottom now with the mechanics, and I have Shimano Ultegra R8000 Groupset mechanical. As you can see, it's not electronic. Now when we actually made this build, when I went to Tifosi to make this build, I bought the bike, I paid for the bike, so I didn't want to go like, I had a certain budget. I knew that I wanted something that would be like, that would work, but I didn't want to go over my budget. So went with mechanical. I've actually never ridden electronic like on any of my bikes ever. We have a slightly longer cage rear mech here, so I've been able to change the cassette on the back from I think it was like a 1128 to now a 1230, for good reason. Particularly for steeper climbs, it's a lot better for like maintaining like both good cadence but also being able to stay seated. I think gone are the days where like you can just get by on a 28 or a 25 at the back. I run a 5236 on the front. That was a standard. I asked for a 5236. I didn't ask for like a 5339 and then, you know, change it up. So that's what I went for. Shimano Ultegra pedals, again not the lightest on the market, but I've used them for like goodness knows how long, so I just love them. However, I may be changing soon to another brand. Looking at the wheels and the tires, these wheels are hand built by Chinnlad. This is the actual wheel set that, again, I won the National Hill Climb Championship on. It's an alloy aluminium rim. It's very strong, very like when I put the power down out the saddle, it just feels, it doesn't feel like, you know, standard alloy things that roll at the factory. It just doesn't feel like that at all. Very small hubs. They are laced with pillar spokes. I think it's the wing spoke they use. Yeah, it's the wing spoke from pillar spokes. Got a KMC chain, black, stealthy. Silver gets dirty too much, so I've gone for the black. Standard elite bottle cages. I mean, you could go lighter with carbon, but again, like, they work, so, and they don't ruin your bottles either. I know that carbon bottle cages can sometimes like tear your bottles to shreds. So moving up to the top, we've got a Physique Aroni R3, the one with like the standard rails, not carbon rails. It's very much like been my favourite saddle to ride, this and Serra Italia, but Physique, I've ridden their saddles for like 8 years maybe, and like never missed a beat with them. Weirdly, like, this saddle is, do you know how they kind of say like for flexible people you go for this one, for the people who haven't got as much flexibility you go for like a different one in their range. This one is for the most flexible people, but I'm not like crazy flexible, so it's just weird how this suits me more. We've also got Deda Superleggera finishing kit. We have stem, handlebar, seat ports combo. We have a rear light from Exposure. We also have a front light as well, but it's not set up on the bike yet. This is the React model, so you have the ability to also have the day bright mode as well, which I've been using quite a lot, and I'll be using it at the total stations. Really long battery life, weighs 35 grams, and yeah, Exposure sent me this out to me, and I'm dead chuffed with it. We're running Continental GP 5000 clinchers on here, so very durable, very fast, good roll resistance, and good puncture protection as well. They're pretty good all rounder. They're 25 mil. I've ridden 28 mils. I love 28. If I was to choose like a tire width, 28 would be my tire of choice. But yeah, happy medium 25. I'm fine with that. No changes with the brakes. So these are still standard, you know, Shimano Ultegra brakes. The bar tape is very rare, so I've been told nowadays. It's the physique, like the tacky stuff, if that's like the technical term, I don't know. But it's left over from the days at JLT Condo, so it's like this bar tape was brand new at the box. I still had the box, and it's like, yeah, 5 years old. So put it to good use here because it's one of my favorite all-time bar tapes. Very sticky, very grippy, lots of like absorption. So it's even better on a carbon bar. And that's about it really, aside from the Wahoo head unit up on top that's mounted on a bodged Garmin mount for GoPro, obviously, just because I haven't got around to buying you know, a dedicated Wahoo GoPro mount yet. So even though this is like, this bike is more built for like functionality, as you can probably tell, than it is for, you know, an out and out pedigree racing beast. If I wanted to, you know, there's lots of things you could change on this bike. There's, you know, the pedals, there's, you know, the brakes. You can get lighter brake calibers, you can, you know, change the saddle, you can take the handlebar tape off, you can you know, you can chop the two spacers that I've got up here that I'm not using, but when I get older they'll come in handy. You know, obviously the wheels can go a lot lighter, but you know, in terms of like what we want to do this weekend, it's like, this is what I've used for the last couple of weeks, or last year rather. So this is the bag from Roswheel. Shout out Roswheel. Absolute amazing bags that they make, by the way. Very sleek. Or rather, this bag, the frame bag, it's got quite good capacity. At the minute I've only got a tube, a couple of tie levers and a pump in there. But this is going to be going right up in here. Fits very, very well, I have to say, and it's because it's quite small at the back, it doesn't affect the bottle carrying capacity, which I'm going to be using one 500ml and one 800ml bottle. So two different sizes. I know that's like going against the code of cycling, I know, but this is going to hold like every single bar that I'm planning on carrying for the event. And even though that's probably going to add, you know, a kilo of weight, in terms of like, you know, peace of mind and the fact that, you know, I'll never miss a beat in terms of, you know, I'll always have food with me, then it's just a killer. You know, it's a game changer, the fact that I can carry more food. Even though it's a climbing race and it, like, weight matters, you have to remember that, you know, obviously I'll start off heavier than I finish. So I'll be at least a kilo lighter when it comes to the final food climbs. So that's it for the bike. If there's anything you want to ask, then fire away. If you enjoyed this and you want to see like a future build, a future hill climb bike build, and see any kind of changes that we make to it, then let me know, because I enjoyed doing this.